along with me as I spend 2 weeks finding out why small ship cruising might just be the ultimate way to see the Greek islands. We'll set sail with Elixir Cruises, a Greek-owned boutique cruise line, experiencing 1 week aboard each of their unique ships. This video will first be featuring our week aboard the Elysium as we set sail on the Mythic Adventure itinerary, exploring beautiful islands in both Greece and Turkey. We'll also set sail on the Gemaya, Elixir Cruise Line's more intimate yacht-style ship. The Sparkling Cyclades itinerary will take us to some of the most iconic Greek islands and even a few hidden gems. Welcome aboard the Elysium. This is one of 2 ships from Elixir Cruise Line, which is a small boutique cruise line here in Greece. They specialize in offering a very intimate and authentic way to go island hopping here in Greece. Currently, they have 2 ships in their fleet. The Elysium, which we are on right now, are 25 cabins on board this ship. And then there's the Gemaya, which we actually just sailed on. We are doing back-to-back sailings. The Gemaya is a lot smaller, it has 5 cabins, and it's a little bit more of a yacht-style cruise situation. It's going to focus mostly on our experience here on the Elysium, but since we just finished a week on the Gemaya, which was spectacular, I will also be including a ship tour and some other footage from our experience there at the end of the video. First full day here on the Elysium, and our itinerary has us here in Delos and then later in Mykonos, which for us is actually a repeat itinerary day. I think one of the only ones that's like completely the same as last week. So today I'm going to focus on mostly just taking you around the ship, giving you a little tour, and kind of sharing more about like the brand experience here with Elixir and everything that they have to offer. Inside, Elysium feels a lot more like a boutique hotel than a traditional cruise ship. It has a modern and relaxed coastal style, with plenty of indoor lounge space and places to hang out. The ship features an indoor dining area and buffet, followed by the outdoor bar and shaded tables where most of the meals are served al fresco. Beyond that, you'll find plenty of loungers in the sun, perfect for sunbathing or watching the Greek islands pass by. On this deck, you'll also find everything you'll need for swim stops, from pool noodles to snorkel equipment. Up on the top deck is the other main lounge area where you'll find the hot tub. The top deck here on this boat is so spacious. There are, I think, 10 like full bed loungers. You've got this huge bench, and then there's also the area that's around the hot tub where you're able to lay down. So even if it's at max capacity, it's really not going to feel like crowded or like you can't find anywhere to sit down and relax. The top deck is also utilized for daily fitness classes like yoga and Pilates. Guests can also use a small indoor gym that is on the first floor, or if you'd like to do self-guided yoga, the mats are available all day long at the top deck. The ship has a fantastic masseuse on board and a room for spa treatments, which I highly recommend. The ship has just 25 guest cabins on board, spread across 5 different categories. We stayed in the A+ category and were so impressed with how spacious it was. It featured a queen bed and thoughtful touches like robes, slippers, and organic bath products. Dining is included on a half-board basis, meaning a daily breakfast buffet plus either lunch or dinner, depending on what the itinerary looks like. Meals range from a Mediterranean buffet to a barbecue on board and a 3-course dining menu. The food on board was fantastic, and the half-board dining plan really allows you to spend more time on the islands and try local restaurants. As for beverages, still water, filtered coffee, and tea are included. For alcoholic beverages, you can either purchase them a la carte or add a drink package to your sailing. On day 3, we arrived at the beautiful island of Patmos. The Elysium offers an optional guided excursion at most of the ports you stop at. They typically last just a few hours long, so they leave you with plenty of time to explore the island on your own before or after. Compared to larger cruise lines, the group size is so much smaller on these excursions, and they are also far more reasonably priced. Patmos is known as the Island of the Apocalypse because it is believed that St. John wrote the Book of Revelation here. Our tour brought us to sites around the island, including the Sacred Cave, the Monastery, and the historic Torah, which is a definite must-see as it is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. After we wrapped up our morning excursion, I set out to go explore Patmos on my own. Skala, the island's main port and largest village, has a lively waterfront lined with cafes, tavernas, and little boutiques. Behind it, whitewashed homes, neoclassical buildings, and winding alleyways make it perfect for exploring without a plan, which is precisely how I spent the rest of my afternoon. Before dinner, I went back on board to shower and get ready for the evening. Again, just one of so many things that is very convenient about small ship cruising, not having to wait in a big line to get back on the ship. You're also pulling into far smaller ports, so you're basically just spending a lot less time in transit and able to spend a lot more time exploring. Hello! It is Today is our third full day on the Elysium, and we are in Kusadasi, Turkey. Kusadasi is one of Turkey's busiest cruise ports, and it is known best for its colorful bazaars and easy access to ancient Ephesus. I had a mountain of editing to catch up on this day, so I did not take part on the excursion, but it did visit Ephesus. I would definitely recommend going for that tour if you have the opportunity. We did go out and explore the port for a few hours instead. Still plenty to see here, but be prepared to be seriously hassled by some very, very good salesmen. Some of the top things to shop here for are Turkish rugs, leather, ceramics, and plenty of designer finds. And by designer, I mean like they are one typo away from being the real thing. Just don't be too surprised when you get home and realize your Louis Vuitton is actually a Louis Vuitton, or otherwise. In the early evening, we set sail from Kusadasi to our next destination, Samos, Greece. The journey between the two is only around an hour and a half, so we arrived just in time for sunset. Before we arrived, we enjoyed a delicious dinner on board, and then once we were docked, we were able to set out and explore some of the nightlife on the island. On day 5, we had an entire day to continue exploring the island of Samos. After breakfast, we set off to go explore the port of Pythagoreio, starting with a walk along the very photogenic Blue Street. Learn from my mistakes and get here earlier rather than later, because by the time we arrived, it was already quite crowded. After that, we made a quick stop at the Castle of Lycurgus and then went over to the Boca Beach Club for the rest of the day. As we made our way back to the ship, we did some shopping along the harbor. There are so many cute shops on this island and a really cool ceramic store. Before we knew it, it was time to get back on board and enjoy a delicious dinner on the ship, followed by a relaxing evening at sea as we set sail to our next destination. The next morning began with a yoga class on the top deck of the ship, shortly after which we arrived at our afternoon swim stop. During swim stops on the Elysium, the crew brings out everything from snorkeling gear and kayaks to pool noodles and paddleboards. That afternoon, we had an amazing barbecue lunch on the deck, followed by a Greek dance class, which ended up being so much fun and truly was one of my favorite afternoons of the entire sailing.
Emilia, I'm going to talk about shopping in a minute. Although your dad told me not to, I will.
Later that afternoon, we took a tender boat over to the island of Paros. This was actually a repeat island for us. We had also visited last week on the other sailing. Instead of heading back into the main port, we decided to spend the afternoon and evening at Marcello Beach Club. While definitely pricey, this place is such a vibe, especially if you have the energy to be there. Honestly, I think this was like day 20 of being in Greece, so I was fading quickly by the moment. Still had a lovely time overall though. On the final full day of our sailing, we arrived at the beautiful island of Sifnos, Greece. We decided to join in on the excursion this day, and I am so glad that we did because wow, what a magical day that we had. Our tour began at Panagia, Chrysopigi, one of the most iconic churches in Sifnos. It has breathtaking views and is known best for a legend in which a woman is chased to the church by pirates, and so naturally she cries for help.
Pray to God, please save me.
After which the rock here split open, putting the church on its own island. Next up on our tour was to go explore Apollonia. Located right in the heart of the island, it is filled with winding alleyways, whitewashed buildings, and cute shops and cafes. Our final stop was to the Church of Seven Martyrs, where we journeyed down the 160 steps to get to the chapel. The views here are absolutely spectacular. Once our tour wrapped up, we were dropped off back by the ship at the port, and we had plenty of time still for the day, so we spent the rest of the afternoon at the beach before departing in the evening. Back on board, we joined a yoga class as we set sail, and then went to get ready for the farewell dinner in the evening.
Lost in the day, feels like an escape. Whisper me sweet nothings. All the words that you say keeps me wanting to stay. The sun that feels so cold.
Here's the word philoxenia, which derives from two words: philos, meaning a friend, xenos, meaning a stranger. And when you combine the two words together, it means making a friend. We look around here, all we see is friends. It's been a pleasure, it's been a privilege having you on board. We do hope to see you again. The night is still young, and Eva is waiting to play some music. Let's go, Eva. Thank you. Thank you.
Now that we have wrapped up our week sailing on the Elysium, I want to talk about the other ship that we sailed on with Elixir. Allow me to introduce you to the Gemaya, a 33-meter luxury yacht with just 5 cabins. It hosts a maximum of just 12 guests and has a 6-person crew on board. What makes this experience so unique is that rather than having to charter the entire yacht, you can book just one cabin and still enjoy the full private yacht experience. For size reference, here are the two ships next to each other. The Gemaya is a far smaller and more intimate experience. Kicking off our tour of the Gemaya, we will start on the aft side. Here you'll find the swimming platform. During swim stops, the crew unloads the full water toy arsenal. This includes everything from sea scooters, paddle boards, kayaks, and snorkeling gear. The crew will even take you out on the tender boat to go wakeboarding, water skiing, or tubing. Moving inside, we have the main indoor dining area. Similar to the Elysium, guests on board the Gemaya have a half-board dining plan, which includes breakfast each morning and then either lunch or dinner depending on the itinerary, although with the Gemaya, it is typically lunch. This works out really well though because you're able to enjoy the islands in the evening and dine at the different restaurants. The Gemaya also includes an open bar. There are 6 cabins on board that you can choose from, all ranging in size. This was ours during our trip. It's called the Alma Master Suite, and it is the 2nd largest cabin on board. I was super impressed with how large this was. I was expecting a much smaller space, and it was also really well soundproofed. At the front of the yacht, you'll find the lounge and splash deck, which features a hot tub surrounded by a large cushioned sunbathing platform. This spot was perfect at golden hour and in the evenings when they would light everything up. Moving to the upstairs area, there is another indoor lounge. And then finally the alfresco deck, which is on the upper aft section. Lastly, at the very top of the ship, you'll find the Starstruck deck, used primarily as a private sunbathing deck or for stargazing in the evenings. The Gemaya offers 3 different itineraries to choose from. The one that we chose for our sailing is called the Sparkling Cyclades. Here is the full itinerary on the screen, so be sure to pause if you'd like to get a screenshot. I won't be going quite as in-depth on this itinerary, but I do want to share some highlights. On day 1, we had some fairly strong winds, so instead of heading straight to Milos, we ended up spending an afternoon on Syros. I ended up really loving this island, and this is actually one of the biggest perks of taking a boutique yacht cruise. The crew on board has the flexibility to adjust the route and make the most of the conditions, so you're always getting the best possible experience. On day 2, we had a full 24 hours at the port of Milos. The crew on board helped us secure a car rental in the morning, and we spent the entire day exploring the island. We started at the iconic Sarakiniko beach, otherwise known as Moon Beach. We also visited quite a few of the iconic colorful fishing villages on the island. Around sunset, we drove up to the island's Plaka and saw some of the most breathtaking golden hour views, which was truly just the cherry on top of such a magical day. A few other notable port days on this itinerary include exploring the ancient ruins of Delos, a visit to Mykonos, one of the most iconic islands in Greece, and so many other hidden gem islands that we visited, such as Syros, which I think might have been my favorite of the entire trip. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button for more cruise and travel inspo coming soon.